are wondering what qualifies me to give anyone advice of what they need, or any kind of authority to give anybody any kind of advice when it comes to beauty, let me just tell you. So I am a licensed cosmetologist, right? And it'll be 5 years at the end of this coming January. Today is December 7th. Child, let me tell you something. I have done a world tour. I have done professional commercials. I have worked side by side with celebrity makeup artists of 20 plus years. And I have learned a lot along the way. Okay. I've done commercials. I've done music videos. I've done literally everything. I've done plays. I have done them on small scales and I have done them on larger scales. I have done male grooming and I have done women's makeup. I have done weddings. I have done hair. I do hair and makeup. So I have literally done it all when it comes to the realm of beauty. I have assisted stylists. I have assisted makeup artists, and I have assisted hairstylists. Okay. So I do so much in the beauty realm or whatever. And I just wanted to take my time to, spread the wealth of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of people want to be in the industry, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to start, and you show up on set sometimes and then you will be embarrassed because nobody told you anything. What they saying? Ain't nobody told me nothing, and you don't want to be that person that ain't nobody told nothing. So I'm trying to tell you, okay? I have also done the Met Gala with your girl, Nicki Minaj. That was like one of the highlights of my career because Met Gala, what? And I actually did get to do Nicki Minaj's makeup toward the end of her tour as well. So if you want to know 10 things that I cannot live without in my kit, please stay tuned. So the first thing on this list is going to be hygiene support. Yes, I said hygiene support. So this one is going to be kind of crazy because it can go both ways. It can go for you or it can go for, you being on set or working with a client, right? Minis are great. So deodorant, have a pack of gum in mind. You can get Listerine packs or Listerine strips, but just something that allows you to freshen up. Deodorant is a big one, especially as your clientele grows, depending on what type of makeup artist you want to be. You want to have something that you can just keep in your kit to freshen up when you're zipping all the way across town and it's hot or you're sweaty, or you never know, your client might have forgotten to put deodorant on before they left the house, and they've come to set and they realize, oh shoot, I did not put on any deodorant, stuff like that. Or say for instance, if you have a quick lunch break or you eat before you go to work, not too many people carry a toothbrush. You want to have something to freshen up the breath. It's the little things that clients come to appreciate about you, the attention to detail, right? So stuff like that is going to be a huge support in your makeup kit. The second thing that is extremely important to have in your makeup kit are extras. So this comes into play for a variety of reasons. So extras are really good for touch-up kits for your clients. Say for instance, if it's a wedding, especially for weddings, touch-up lip kit and extras, extra disposables, especially extra powder puffs are going to be a huge thing that comes into play. And let me just put this so that I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So this is my extras kit that I carry with me, and I do carry makeup wipes. So these are like the makeup kits that I use on a client, or say for instance, the client is like, hey, do you have a makeup wipe? I just want to wipe, freshen up my face or wipe my face before we get into it. This is what I'll hand them, right? But for the client who is doing something like a photo shoot or coming in from out of town and, is a bridesmaid or a bride, you want to have extras. Like these are the individually wrapped makeup wipes. They are great to have in here. So I'll show you all my extras. So these are like the extra, the individually wiped, the individual makeup wipes, and then I have these are for like powders, lipstick, like a little bit of lipstick, and then these are the extra makeup wands. I have makeup wands in here, lip wands, mascara wands. Then I have touch-up bags. So these are the little touch-up bags. I have several of them in here. I have my little trash bag. And then I have also in here, I don't want to pull them out because that's going to mess up my whole thing, but I'll show you quickly. I have these dental wipes in here that I, use to lay out my tools, that I'm not messing up, whatever I'm laying it on. And also so that I'm keeping everything nice and sanitary. The other extras that I keep in my kit are powder puffs. So I buy them in bulk and then I'll just put them in here because this is like the perfect size to keep in my kit. I'll do a kit tour soon, but it won't be today. This is just mainly talking about the things that I think that somebody should keep in their kit in order to be really successful, right? Okay, yeah. And then these are going to be extra sponges. So sponges, I don't typically use them, but it's good to have, especially like if you're doing music videos or something like that, so that you're not carrying brushes and so that you can easily just do quick touch up and throw it away. That way the client's face is always touching something clean and fresh. So yeah, that's another thing. Also too, if you end up working on a team or working on a set like commercial or a music video, you'll probably be working with other artists, and it's a really good impression just to have things that somebody else might not have. That way they always remember you. So it's like, I've been on plenty of sets where, or I've worked with people that, they ask me for certain things and then a month later they'll ask me to come assist or to be a second hand for a job, just because I'm thorough and I'm willing to help out. You know what I mean? I have everything. Who doesn't want to work with somebody who has everything? Another thing that's important to have extra is extra eyelashes. So you want to have a variety of eyelashes, and I'll just show a few, but I have probably like 6 different eyelashes. So I have like really big eyelashes, then I have like really small eyelashes, right? And then I have like medium eyelashes. So it's really good to have like a variety. These are some tiny lashes that I have too, but I also have clusters as well. Like this is an example of some clusters. I have other clusters, but you just want to have a variety of things in your makeup kit and extras, just like I said, because you don't know what can happen if you only have like one eyelash or whatever and you're trying to pick it up so many times. Like you'll pull out a little cluster of a lash strip or whatever, and then you're screwed if you don't have a duplicate of the same type, right? Also too, keeping duplicates in your kit keeps you in a constant state of replenishment and making sure that you have what you need. There's nothing worse than going on a job and running out of what you need. I'm telling you, it's embarrassing and it just comes off as extremely unprofessional, which is a really bad thing to, well, I guess I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing, especially starting off, but if you could be the person who is fresh in the industry, who's open to learn and extremely prepared, like if you have run across this video, consider yourself lucky, because that makes you the elite. That makes you the best of the best. And how you start is how you finish. So keep that in mind. Okay, excuse me guys. So the lashes was actually the number 3 on the list. So we already covered that. So yeah, lash clusters with these dramatic lashes and bottom lashes. That's another thing. I have bottom lashes in my kit as well, but yeah, everything that I purchase that is accessible on Amazon, I will link my link below, and I'll just have everything categorized and you can just find it there. So yeah, so the next order of business, or the next number on the list, is nude palettes. Nude palettes. So nude palettes is going to be a huge one, because more often than not, you're going to get people that are wanting natural or soft glam. A lot of times when people say, oh, I want, a natural beat, it's going to be the fact that they want something soft, okay? So let me just pull out my nude palette so I can show you an example of what I'm talking about. So I actually ended up losing one of my nude palettes from Patrick Ta traveling on a job, and I lost my whole little carry-on, so RIP to that. But I have both of the neutral palettes from Makeup Mario. So this is going to be the cool tone, true neutral, very cool tone, very, very neutral. Some colors are almost gray, have a gray cast. This one is the neutrals, and it's the natural matte, the master matte palette, right? And then this one is going to be your skin-like nudes or whatever. So they look more like skin, and a lot of them are warmer, because a lot of people are more warmer. I see warm tones and olive tones more so. So I'll put these side by side so you guys can see the difference. So they're very similar, but very, very different at the same time. And the last palette that I want to share with you guys is going to be the Patrick Ta palette, the one that didn't that didn't get lost. This is the Major Dimension number 2, and this one is more of a rosy nude, but it's nude and it has shimmers. This one is more of a rosy nude, so as you can see, the nudes are really like rosy. They have more of a pink undertone, so they're flesh-like, but at the same time they are leaning they are more pink leaning, which I think is really pretty. So yeah, and then they have the gold, the shimmers to match. So shimmers are going to be another thing that you always want to have as it pertains to like nude palettes. So the next order of business should honestly go without saying, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it because some people, this world might be completely foreign to them, you know, and a lot of makeup artists aren't actually licensed cosmetologists, so they don't really understand the importance of like, you know, being sanitary. So I'm gonna just break it down. The next order of business is going to be alcohol and makeup cleaner. So the way I keep my alcohol and my makeup cleaner, I keep them in these little tin containers and they're labeled. So they're labeled and they're sprayable and easy. When you're using lip liners, lipsticks, the powders, you have to sanitize it. So keeping this in your kit is like the #1 sign that you care about the hygiene of your client and making sure that they leave feeling safe, and letting them know that they're safe in your hands and that you're clean and that they're going to be clean and they're not going to get an eye infection or a lip bump because the last person had a lip bump, just anything, right? And makeup brush cleaner, because something could fall. If you don't have the multiples of the same brushes, you might need to use the same brush, which is totally fine, but you need to be able to clean and sanitize it right there on the spot. The makeup cleaner that I really, really like is Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. I use the lemon scent, and the alcohol. Your alcohol should at least be 70% alcohol to effectively disinfect your tools. And while we're on that subject, I'm just going to go ahead and add hand sanitizer. These are really small and petite, so they don't take up a lot of room in your makeup kit, but you can find them in the travel aisle of your local convenience store. And yeah, just, you know, to keep it clean, you may not always have access or be able to get to a bathroom quick enough to wash your hands, which I always recommend washing your hands prior to starting a makeup service. But, you know, if not, hand sanitizer is the way to go. You should just have this just on GP being out in the world, honestly, but hand sanitizer. #6 on the things that you should always keep in your makeup kit are the Louise Eye Bases. I'm laughing because this is such a random one, but I swear by it. It is a lid primer by a UK brand, and I swear by them. I have about 7 of them. First of all, she started off with all of the complexion shades, and then she even expanded to the color shades. So I currently right now just have 2 color shades. Do I have 2? Yeah, I have 2 color shades, and then I have about 5 complexion shades. So I have like baby blue and lavender. These are one of the best lid primers in the market. You just got to know how to use them, right? So I won't get into how to use them, but this is gonna take your eyeshadow far. It's going to help you get the most color payoff no matter what brand of eyeshadow that you are using, because a lot of the time it's mostly our technique and, you know, understanding how product knowledge, understanding how to pair products together, that really elevate our performance when it comes to makeup. So these eye bases, these eye primers are amazing, and I have about 7 of them, and they are highly recommended, period. The 7th item on the list that my makeup kit cannot live without will be the Fenty Concealers. These are one of the most hydrating concealers and the most diverse shade range on the market. Okay, like look, these are just a few. This is not even everything that I have in my kit. These are just a few that I keep in my kit, but I love these because they literally, like, this is literally the lightest shade, and then this is the darkest shade that I have. Like, look at that contrast, and then look at everything in between. And these are just, how many are these? this is just 9 shades. I have probably about 6 more shades in my kit, and they're super hydrating, and hydrating is always good whether your skin is dry or normal or a combination. They just pair well, and they're beautiful, beautifully crafted. They're extremely pigmented, and they're buildable, and that's why I love these concealers, and my kit cannot live without them. Number 8 is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury airbrushed bronzers and setting powders. I absolutely adore these bronzers. They are beautiful. I'm wearing the number 2 setting powder underneath my eye and on the highlights of my face, and then I'm also wearing the airbrush bronzer in the contour of my face or whatever, all up and through here. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. The formula is almost like cream-like, but it's powder, and it just, I'm telling you, this is one of the things that absolutely has elevated my makeup kit. I can always count on these to give me a smooth finish, and I do realize that these are pricey because the bronzers are about $50 a piece, but they have minis. I have all of the minis for the setting powders in my kit because they're, like I said, I was definitely on a budget when I got them, but I wanted all of them. You know, I really was ready to invest, and yeah, and they have the minis, and the minis are about between $20 to $28. So, you know, if you catch Sephora on a good sale, or if you catch them on sale on the Charlotte Tilbury website, don't hesitate, because I promise you, these will elevate your kit. These will take your makeup artistry from 0 to 100 real quick. So number 9, I'm not going to show on camera because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but I do just want to make a point. It is important to definitely have a variety of lash glue, and it doesn't have to be 3 to 4 different brands, but what I will say is the one that I use is Duo. I love the clear one. I use it on myself, but you should have some hair bond in your kit as a makeup artist, especially if you are working with performers or dancers, because that is going to be the lash that withstands sweat, you know, harsh environment, harsh activity, because you just never know what situation you might be in as a makeup artist. You might be on a movie set. The person is supposed to do something crazy. The lash, you don't want the lash flying off while they're midair. You know what I'm saying? So keep that hair bond. I know it's a weird one, but hair bond, I'm telling you, sometimes a client will ask you for it and you're kind of like, what? But just to be able to have it in your kit will save you a world of headache, because sometimes Duo just won't cut it. I will say that, especially in extreme situations like, you know, performances, dances. I've personally worked on a world tour, and it was definitely something that I ended up using or whatever. So yes, that's just a little tidbit. And in case you're wondering what hair bond looks like, this will be an example of a hair bond. So last but not least is going to be like actually one of my favorite things that I have used even like since the beginning of my career, and it'll be 5 years this coming January, which is like about in 3 weeks, the end of January. But right now, what day is it? Child, I don't even know what day it is. It's December 7th. But something that my kit can absolutely not live without are going to be the Sephora Micro Smooth Mineral Powders. These are such a good powder because they do the same thing that the airbrushed Charlotte Tilbury does, but this is like lighter in coverage. So these are going to give you a microscopic film, or film isn't the right word. I'll say like a microscopic, it fills in the holes microscopically. Lord have mercy. It fills in the holes microscopically so that everything just looks seamless and melts together. It's really one of those things where you just have to see it to believe it. I have them in 4 main shades. They come in so many different shades, but these are the 4 that I keep in my kit because, you know, your kits are limited, and as a traveling stylist, which I am a traveling stylist and makeup artist, you know, less is more. So I keep my kit as consolidated as possible. And these are the 4 shades that I feel most comfortable using interchangeably. So if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please don't hesitate to share this with someone. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and definitely hit that notification bell so that you can see the next upload, because you never know, you might need it, okay? But yes, thank you so much for watching. Again, it's your girl King Cat, and I am signing off.